Hey everybody, I'm Sarah Hicks, and this is my informative speech called You Are What You Eat. Today I'm going to talk to you about the non-GMO project. We've all heard the phrase, you are what you eat, but have you ever really thought about what it means? Some of the foods that we eat on a daily basis are genetically modified, but what does that actually mean and why does it matter? The Non-GMO Project is a nonprofit organization that is North America's only verification labeling for non-GMO food and products. It began in a small neighborhood natural grocery store and has grown into a multinational organization. Their mission is to preserve and build sources of non-GMO products, educate consumers, and provide verified non-GMO choices. Everyone deserves an informed choice to decide whether or not to use genetically modified products. So the first thing that you need to know is what GMOs are. GMOs are genetically modified organisms. This means that their genetic makeup has been modified in a laboratory and it creates relatively new or unstable combinations that you wouldn't find in nature. And or through like traditional crossbreeding methods of like putting two pea plants together to create a new variety of a pea or something like that. So you may be wondering why this matters. All commercial GMOs are engineered to either produce an insecticide or resist them. So they will withstand the application or either produce their own. And evidence is growing that GMOs are linked to health problems, environmental damage, and violation of the rights of farmers and consumers. So if you're still wondering why this matters, take a look at this tomato. They're beautiful tomatoes, right? We go grocery shopping, we pick them up. These tomatoes look nice. We'll have them in a sandwich or in our spaghetti sauce. Well, these tomatoes, maybe not these specifically, but tomatoes in the past have been modified using the genes of Alaskan salmon to withstand frost and make them frost resistant. So I don't know about you, but I would like to know if my tomatoes were a little fishy. So the next thing that you need to know is if GMOs are safe. In most developed nations, they're not considered safe. In Australia, Japan, and the European Union, they have significant restrictions or bans on GMOs and require that they be labeled. In the US, there are no laws about this, and the GMOs are approved based on studies by the corporations that create them, which would be mostly Monsanto. As far as labeling goes, Americans have expressed concern over wanting to know if their foods are genetically modified. So the Non-GMO Project was created to inform consumers. There are two different labels that you can look for when you go grocery shopping to figure out if your food is genetically modified. The first one is the label of the Non-GMO Project. It's right here. And this label is found on all of the products that are verified to be free of GMOs by the Non-GMO Project. And then the second one you can find is the USDA Certified Organic label. And in the absence of the Non-GMO Project label, this one is the second best thing because the USDA does testing for GMOs in all of their organic products, and it is law that GMOs cannot be used in anything that is certified organic. So another thing that's important to understand is which foods are at risk of having GMOs in them or being genetically modified. There are three different categories: high risk, monitored crops, and low risk. High risk crops are things like alfalfa, canola, corn, cotton, papaya, soy, sugar beets, zucchini, and yellow summer squash, and things like that. These crops are in commercial production as genetically modified organisms, and anything derived from these products, or if these products are used in anything, they have to be tested every single time before used in a non-GMO certified product. The next thing is monitored crops, and they have suspected or known incidents of contamination. They're tested as needed to assess the risk. So these are like flax, rice, wheat, and potatoes, along with several different root vegetables and squash. And then the low-risk crops are at a low risk of contamination, and they're also tested as needed, and they're things like potatoes and salmon. So The last question, sorry, these slides are, there we go. The last question is, what can you do about it? So the easiest way to take action is to take a step-by-step approach. For example, begin by looking at the foods that you eat for breakfast and see if they contain GMOs or if they're certified to be non-GMO. Another thing you can do, of course, is look for the 2 labels when you buy products in the store. And you can let your lawmakers know that labeling for GMOs is something that matters to you. For a complete list of non-GMO product verified products, you can visit the website nongmoproject.org, and remember, you are what you eat. Thank you. And then you have to show everybody again. Okay.
Thank you.